Howdy y'all, Snark Fates here, and today I'm going to be explaining the dragon boss fight for Scooby-Doo Unmasked. This fight is the most complex boss fight in the speedrun, since there are certain actions you can do that will influence where the dragon will move to next. This guy will go over the Mubber routing for the start of the fight, and 5 different routes that show the many spots where the dragon can drop and how to get multiple hits in those spots. Throughout the video, there will be a top-down map of the Dragon Arena that was expertly drawn by yours truly, which hopes to give some visual aid of where to go and where to stand for this fight. For the first Mubber route, you will hold bottom left notch for a moment before holding down to get to the first set of boxes, which all you need to grab is the yellow Mubber in this box and the one Fred will give. For the second set, go to the right and destroy these boxes highlighted on the map since they have the yellow Mubber and rats. Before you leave these set of boxes to the final set, you must have at least 18 Mubber to have enough Mubber for this route. For the final set of boxes, the movement can be awkward with how the camera will track the dragon, so just try and copy the inputs that are displayed in the bottom left, as if you get to this set too slow, then dragon will take a different path for the first double hit, which I'll play a clip of what that will look like. Once you get to the final set, just break all the boxes and collect the yellow Mubber Daphne gives you and use the 35 Mubber to gain access to the Kung Fu costume, and that will be the end for this first Mubber route. For the second Mubber route, which I like to call the CT Phantom route since she was the only runner that I know that used this Mubber route. This route, you're mainly focusing on the boxes that have yellow Mubber, so I'll highlight on the map where those are located. Starting this route, just hold forward until you see Fred pop out and collect the yellow Mubber. Then start heading to the set of boxes in the corner. Also make sure to trigger Daphne since she'll give you a yellow Mubber. Then pay attention to what boxes I break since we are only looking for the ones with yellow Mubber, which have the MFM logo on them. Once you have 35 Mubber, start heading back to the machine to gain access to the Kung Fu costume, and that will wrap up the Mubber routes that can be used for this fight. Now heading into the fight itself, the first tip I'm going to give is to wait after Scooby gets the costume until you see the dragon start moving to the right, since if you move too early, the dragon will go on a different path, which I'll show a clip of what that looks like. There are 2 different methods for the first double hit. You can either do 2 normal blasts, which looks like this, or you can do an animation cancel after the first blast, which you do by pressing X after you've done a blast. So the inputs will be press and hold X, release X when it's charged, then press X, then press and hold X again. After the first double hit, start heading to this Fred corner, which is where the first set of boxes are located for the first Mubber route. Also make sure to utilize dive kicks to move around the arena faster. Once you are at the corner, start charging a blast, then release it when the dragon drops down and starts facing Scooby. Then face left and charge another blast and release it once the damage animation is done, which you can see it on the right side of the screen. So when the sparking stops is your visual cue. Start chasing the dragon in this direction, make sure to do 4 dive kicks, charge a blast, wait for the sparking to stop, then release the blast. Also don't get too close to the dragon, because if you're too close you'll get knocked back and miss your timing for the 3rd hit. After that triple, head back into the corner since dragon will loop back and drop at the same spot. Charge another blast and release it when the dragon drops down and starts facing Scooby. For the next 3 hits, you have to hit dragon as soon as he is vulnerable, so you have to be preemptive with your blast. So this will just require you to learn the timing of how long he is invulnerable for. And on the 3rd hit, dragon will start heading towards the buildings, so just charge a blast and be patient. Wait for dragon to rise, then release the blast. The rising hit isn't required for the route, but it does make the fight faster if you do hit it. After the dragon is done rising, start heading to the area I like to call Chimney, which will be highlighted on the map. Once you are at this spot, charge a blast and wait for dragon to drop, then release the blast. Something can happen is that dragon will end his path early if you hit him too early, so be patient on the first hit. For the second hit, face left, start charging while holding top left notch, and release the blast when it's done charging. The dragon will loop back, so you can use this time to get rid of any rats if there are any, and just repeat the double hit again. And when you land the final hit on dragon, press start and menu to exit level, as this skips his dialogue, a cutscene, and the results screen and sends you straight to World 2. Before we head into the second route, I want to give a disclaimer that I won't be going over hits that were covered in previous routes. So if there are a set of hits you're struggling on, make sure to rewatch the first route or any other route for the explanation, as I'm only going to cover new sets of hits for the rest of the routes. So the main thing I want to showcase in this route is if you fail the first double hit and only got off one blast, this route is for when that happens. Once you have landed the first hit, start heading to the Fred corner, which is highlighted on the map, and do the triple hit that was explained in the first dragon route. But you won't have a sparking visual cue for the second hit, so pay attention on the right side of the screen and react to when bolts fly out. Then after the triple hit, head back into the corner, start charging a blast, and release a blast when dragon drops down and starts facing Scooby. Then face left for the next two hits, and remember to wait for the sparking to stop before releasing the blast. Once you've released the third blast, dragon will start coming towards Scooby. So face towards the UV lights where Zen2O stands and charge a blast and release it once the sparking is done. Also be aware, if you are in the dragon's path for the fourth hit, if you realize you are in his way, try and move out of his way, then do the fourth hit. After that set of hits, start heading towards the chimney, which is highlighted on the map. You don't have to break the boxes since you'll only be doing one set of double hits in this area. Also, you can be a little bit patient on the first blast since the dragon won't be in the UV phase during this time. Once you're done with that double hit, start heading towards the corner you were previously at, but stop once you see this spot on the ground, which will be marked on the screen, as you will stand here for the double hits instead of the red square. Start charging, then release the blast when dragon drops down, face top left, and charge for another hit. It's fine if you miss one of the second hits, but you have to hit at least one of them either during the first or second loop. After the first set of hits, just stand in the same spot and do the same thing you did for the first drop to end the fight. This next route is the slowest that will be shown in this guide, but it showcases how to still have a decent fight even when messing up sets of hits. To start off this route, do a double hit and start heading to the Fred corner, which is highlighted on the map. Then this is where this route truly starts, since after the first hit, I was late on the second hit, which caused the dragon to take this path. And then I missed the third hit since he was in an awkward spot. Instead of him looping back to the same spot, he will drop down in this area instead. So face in that direction and charge a blast, then release it when he drops down. And I got hit, but I still try to go for the double, which I miss. But I know dragon will head towards chimney, so move over there and perform the double hit. And start heading to the spot that was shown for the final doubles in the previously shown route. Then perform a double hit there and head back to chimney after that. Then perform the chimney doubles, as the dragon will loop back after the first set. Even though a lot went wrong in this route, this shows that knowing where the dragon will drop is a very important skill to learn, since it will allow you to improvise a route on the fly if you make a mistake. This route is very similar to the first dragon route shown off, but the difference is the quad hit that is done for the second Fred corner loop. To start off this route, do a double hit and start heading to the Fred corner just highlighted on the map, and perform the triple hit for the first loop. And for the second loop, perform the first 4 hits shown in the second route. But when Dragon is coming towards Scooby, you want to do a blast before he goes past Scooby. If Dragon starts heading into this corner, then that's when you've done it correctly. After you do the 4th hit, start heading in this direction towards the Mubber machine where you gain access to the Kung Fu costume, and position Scooby to the left of the glass where Daphne gives you Mubber. The visual cue I use is having Scooby's right leg on this corner when I'm charging the blast, then release the blast when Dragon drops down, then start holding top left notch to go for the double hit. Dragon will loop back to the same corner, so just start charging in the same position and perform the double hits again to end the fight. This route uses the CT Phantom Mubber route, which will change certain sets of hits for this fight. Make sure to go back to the Mubber routes portion of this video if you need a refresher on the CT Phantom Mubber route. Also, I mentioned during the first Mubber route that if your movement was too slow while doing the Mubber route and Dragon starts heading to the Mubber machine corner, this route will show what to do if that happened, as the first double hit will be the same as the CT Phantom route. To start off this route, head towards these metal sheets and stand to the right of it, and start charging a blast and release a blast when Dragon's head crosses this part of the arena, which will be highlighted on the screen. After the first hit, just start charging another blast in the same spot. You can also do an animation cancel for the second hit if you want to, then just release it when it's done charging. Then start heading to the Fred corner, which is highlighted on the map. There will be a rat when you get there, so get rid of it before you start charging for the triple hit. Perform the triple hit for the first loop, and when Dragon comes back down for the second loop, charge a blast, then release it when Dragon drops down and starts facing Scooby. Then face left for the next 2 hits. And remember that you have to wait for the sparking animation for the first 2 hits. Then Dragon will start heading towards Scooby. You can either just charge another blast and go for the hit while he is still moving towards Scooby, or you can face the UV lights and do the 4th hit there, which was shown in the second route. After that quad hit, start heading to this corner and wait for Dragon to turn the camera so you can face left and start charging the blast, and release the blast when his head hits this corner, highlighted on the screen. This hit is important since if you mess up the timing, you will get a Dragon lap, which is when the Dragon will do a full lap around the arena without dropping until he gets to the same spot he dropped. Also, you can only get Dragon lap in the UV phase, so you don't have to worry about this in the other phases. After stopping the Dragon lap, start heading to the chimney and perform a double hit. Then start heading towards the metal sheets or this set of boxes for the final hit, since Dragon will drop down in between the UV light and the Mubber machine. Before we get to the outro, I will show off an alternative way to stop the Dragon Lab. If you are worried or struggling with the hit, you will just stand in the corner, then when Dragon goes past Scooby, start heading to the Mubber machine and perform the double hit that was shown in the 4th Dragon route. Then head to this part of the arena and stand to the left of this object and charge a blast, then release the blast a little bit before the dragon drops down, and follow my movement to manip the dragon so he'll do another loop of the Mubber machine corner, where you can perform the last hit or another double hit if you miss the double hit in the first Mubber machine corner loop. Well, that will mark the end of this guide. Whether you're a new runner or an experienced Unmasked runner, I hope that you learned a bit more about the dragon boss fight. By the way, you don't have to follow these routes exactly how I did it in the examples, since the main purpose of this guide is to show the dragon drop spots and the sets of hits, so please experiment with what works for you, or just react accordingly to what calls for this situation. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Coley, who edited this video, as this video wouldn't be possible without him. Socials will be linked down in the description, and with that, goodbye.